Okay, let's go.
Every once in a while, you get a documentary that is so utterly weird, a story so strange you think, that can't possibly be true. Tickled is that kind of documentary. New Zealand entertainment journalist David Farrier wanted to do a story on his TV show about the cute world of competitive tickling. And instead, what he discovered was a world of blackmail, money, coercion, hidden identities, fetishes, and quite simply, it is bonkers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
So, when most people kind of see a poster for a movie about competitive tickling, there's like, that'll be an adorable pop culture doco. I assume that's how it started for you too.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I stumbled on this competitive endurance tickling competition in LA. And the premise is really simple. You know, you apply, you've got to be between 18 and 24. And if selected, you get flown to LA, all costs paid for, you get paid $1,500 cash. So I was like, okay, this is a real thing that's happening. And so I went to their Facebook page and I just posted on their wall, I'm a New Zealand journalist, I'd love to do an interview with you about this tickling sport, can you help? And I just got this reply, paraphrasing, that just basically went, we don't want to deal with a homosexual journalist. So I was like, okay, it's quite an aggressive and strange reply. Plus, the sport inherently looks incredibly gay.
Super gay.
It's super, yeah, it's really homoerotic because you've got these really athletic men tickling each other. And then I started getting letters from New York lawyers and lawyers in New Zealand saying if we didn't stop, then we'd get sued.
So most people get a letter from a lawyer and they're like, oh shit, I'm not touching this. So what was it the moment we went, no, this is something that I can turn into a doco?
I think it was when the company sent 3 people from New York to Auckland to mediate with me and say, don't make a film, you know, like basically saying there's nothing to see here. Every time I thought potentially about giving it up, something else happened that was so outrageous. It just seemed like we had to keep filming.
She waited until she had complete control, basically, over your situation. And that's when she wanted to yank that rug right out from under you.
We noticed that some of the young men who had been involved in the tickling videos, they had become subject to this huge online harassment campaign. Apparently, you know, sort of started by the same company that hired them to tickle.
Listen, your family better watch out, like direct threats.
People were being targeted who didn't have much money and who didn't have much power. These ticklees, as we call them, it's a word we hadn't heard before.
It's a word now.
Yeah, it's a word now. They're coming under attack. And so we started meeting some of them across America and sort of hearing their stories and just sort of piecing together what this company was actually doing and what was behind it. And that's where we went to some pretty just sort of dark places.
Tickle torture films. It's very sick.
There's nobody to help me.
He's become a real target, and believe me, it will be really ugly.
One of the things that it sort of uncovers is a really interesting observation about masculinity as well, because the way the tickling videos get used over these guys is almost like a sex tape. If somebody's threatening to reveal a sex tape, except it's the most innocuous looking thing, unless you're hyper-masculine and you grow up in a hyper-masculine environment where suddenly that video can be inferred to mean a whole bunch of things as well.
Completely, no, you've got it. I mean, you know, these videos, they're very innocent. It's a tickling video. Everyone's got clothes on, they're wearing Adidas sports clothes, and it's just tickling. But these videos are suddenly recontextualized and they're made to look, you know, they're put on gay porn sites. So you Google your name and suddenly all you have is 100 results of you being this gay pervert. And the only reason that is such a problem is because in society, and especially in a lot of the places these young men are from, that's the worst thing you could be, being gay. And the company, you know, they know this, and they use this as a power over these people.
All hell broke loose. Sending emails to the high school that I coach at.
What do you think your mother's gonna think about this?
Do it.
There's going to be a group of people out there that watch this and just go, he made this up. There's no way it could be this weird. What would you say to that person that just doesn't believe that this really happened?
I would say it is definitely real, everything happened, but also I understand why they think it can't be real, because to me, I'm still surprised that this whole thing exists.
Well, I think go hard on me, like give me a good go.
You know, we meet this character in the film, Richard Ivey, who is a professional tickler. And that's
Which
what
is
he
the
does.
thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's something I was unaware of as well. And he makes all his income from selling tickling videos. And when he agreed to be interviewed, he said the one thing you know, that you'll have to do if you're going to interview me, I have to tickle you. And I thought he was joking. But when I turned up at his house in Florida, he's like, okay, we're going to tickle. This is going to happen. And it was really, it's painful. Like, I had no power, no control. He had all the power and all the control. And at one point he had my shoes on, socks off, he lubed up my feet with KY jelly, and he was running a brush up and down my feet, like a hairbrush. And it was the worst experience probably of my life. It's awful.
That is so unbelievably weird.
And I think as a whole, that's what the film ends up being about, is this big power play. Tickling in itself is a power relationship. You've got the person tickling someone, they're powerful, they're tickling this person who doesn't have any power at all. And the whole film kind of becomes a reflection of that, because it's a story about how power and wealth essentially gives you control over people that don't have the resources you have.
David Farrier, your job is very strange and your film is very good. Thank you so much for talking to us.
No, thank you. I think that sums it up well.